What's up, everybody? I'm your host Joseph, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Breakdown. Today, I want to talk about a book that may not have been on your radar called Ghost Rider vs. Galactus. I had to pick this up because it was just like a weird pairing, and I wanted to check it out and see what it was about. But apparently, it's actually from a limited series by J. Michael Straczynski, and it's always somebody versus somebody. So they pair up odd people together. So the first one was Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon. Then we had Captain America versus Volstagg. We had Nick Fury and Fin Fang Foom, Hulk and Doctor Strange, and now here we are. So I want to check this out and join me on this ride. Let's go. Our story kicks off in New York City in the late 1970s, and it starts by Ben Grimm talking to this little short guy, talking about he doesn't want to have to explain why he has to be late for dinner with his girlfriend because he had to rip somebody's arms off. And this guy's like, "What are you talking about?" He pulls a gun on him. He's like, "Stand back or shoot." And he was like, "You know what that thing's gonna do to me? Nothing at all." And he's like, "You have the wrong man. It's not me." He's like, "Oh yeah?" The thing then pulls out a mugshot of this guy saying, "Is this you or is it not?" He's like, "You killed 5 people. And the part that gets me that you didn't do it for the power of glory, to take the top guy's heads just for human resources at an accounting firm. You did this all to gain popularity in your firm." And he was like, it was a really nice office. Don't judge me for what I did. And then you hear a voice saying, "He's not judging you, I am." And the little guy turns around and lo and behold, look who he sees. That's right, folks, Ghost Rider himself. And I like how there's residents that's actually saying who it is. Like, yo, Vinny, check it out. It's the Ghost Rider. Like, what? You gotta come see this. And I cannot give a shout out to the artist, Juan Fiera. The testament to how this art looks, it gives you that 70s vibe, that old school feeling. And I love the reflection of Ghost Rider in the water on the floor. It is just some excellent art going on here. Ghost Rider then tells the murderer that I am your judge, I am your jury, Then he's interrupted, and the guy says, "It's Ghost Rider, get to your freaking window." And the Ghost Rider turns to the guy and says, "Shut up, I'm working." And the other guy says, "See, you pissed him off." Then Ghost Rider goes back to his speech like, "I am your jury and executioner. Let your guilt over your crimes condemn you." Ghost Rider then says, "Now face the lethal fire of my penance stare." For those of you who don't know, the penance stare is something that Ghost Rider does where he makes people feel all the pain that they've caused on others. So whatever you feel is magnified tenfold. So this guy's now suffering through all the pain he's caused when he murdered those 5 people. So now the murderer is burning from the inside out, which causes him to basically spontaneously combust. And Ben is looking like, "What did you do? Why did you do that? I almost had him." And Ghost Rider tells him that a lot of his crimes came back to exact vengeance. That's what he gets. And basically Ghost Rider's like, "I'm done here." And Ben has an idea like, "Hold on, I need to talk to you for a second." So now Ben asks Ghost Rider for a ride because he has to go pick up the suit. He's saying, "Do you want to get some coffee?" And he's like, What are you talking about?" Like, "Well, it's hard to get a cab right now, but can you give me a ride uptown to where I need to go?" So he actually gives him a ride, and it's just like one of these little funny comical scenes that kind of just trips me out. We now cut to the tailor where Ben is getting fitted for his suit and just kind of talking about it. And then he says, "Look, I want to talk to you about the penance stare. Does this thing work on everybody who's like kill people?" And Johnny Blaze was kind of like, "As far as I know, yeah." He was like, "Cause somebody say use science to stop it from working." He's like, "No, it's kind of like supernatural hellfire, so it can't be stopped by anything that's equally supernatural. Why?" He's like, "I was just wondering. I have something I want to talk to you about." And he whispers something to his ear, and Johnny's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, do I look like I'm kidding? Like, look, you look like a brick wall with eyes." And he goes back to like, "But did you ever see me kid? There's something I really need you to do." Say, "This big guy has spent centuries destroying whole worlds to feed his hunger. How many people has he killed in the process? Trillions?" I think that even Reed couldn't figure that number out. Like, every time we got into a fight with him, he's walked away in one piece. Maybe because we kind of fought with science. Say, what do you know? Maybe we can finally do something different. Can he be brought to judgment?" So basically, the thing is asking Ghost Rider to go into space and fight Galactus and use the penance there to make him feel all the things he's done, and maybe that's the way to take him out. And Johnny's like, "But this dude is in space. Like, how am I supposed to get there?" He was like, "I don't know, but I think you can figure that out." So he turns into the Ghost Rider and gets ready to leave. So we next turn to Cape Canaveral where a rocket is getting ready to go off in space. And then we see something I've never seen the Ghost Rider do. So he takes his bike and kind of transforms it into like this octopus suction cup type of thing on the bottom of it. And he adheres himself to the rocket as it blasts off. And then we go in the countdown, the engines are firing, 3, 2, 1, boom, we have liftoff. And we see the Ghost Rider riding into space, which is crazy. Now he said, "Now let's kick this baby into high gear." And I guess he supercharges the rocket to get to its destination. Our next scene takes us into some irrelevant location, and we hit the words from a survivor of this planet. It said, the last of our silver cities have fallen and the sky is on fire. We threw ourselves against the inevitable, but to no avail. All we were, all we are, and all we could have ever been is at an end. Let it be said that we faced a great terror and did not look away, that we fought for the right to be, and that when the end came, we were not afraid. And that's just like some really humbling words from this dying man on this dying planet. And say, for those who may one day receive the signal, we the dead send our regards. And we see Galactus in the background getting ready to consume this planet like he does, and he's done countless times. We next see Galactus start to destroy the planet and consume its essence. And then he says, lay coordinates for the next jump. And it's confirmed from his ship. There's an unknown energy source detected. And then we hear somebody yell, Galactus! It's Ghost Rider. He said, I'm here to call you to account for your crimes. And he's buzzing by him. And he's like, turn to face me. And he says, trouble another little insect like he's nothing. And Ghost Rider gets pissed like, little insect, fine then, on your terms. Once again, I'm seeing the Ghost Rider do something I've never seen before. He transforms himself. Like, you think I'm a little insect, something that's bothering you, and he becomes this huge force equal in size to Ghost Rider. And he's like, there, look at me now. Once again, gotta give a shout out to the artist. It is amazing seeing Ghost Rider in this super big, like somewhat cosmic, godlike form. Now that they're equals, Ghost Rider's like better, and we see the first shots being fired. Ghost Rider shoots off his hellfire. Galactus shoots off his cosmic energy. It's like shaboom! Ghost Rider's hellfire actually overpowers Galactus and it knocks him into his ship. And so Ghost Rider's like, do I have your attention now? He says yes. So now it's Galactus' turn to retaliate. This next scene is just a splash page of the two big entities going at it, fisticuffs, back and forth. You know, Ghost Rider versus Galactus, Galactus versus Ghost Rider, just going at it to see who's going to come out on top. Ghost Rider's goal is to make Galactus pay for his crimes. Now that Ghost Rider has Galactus' full attention, he says, let your guilt over your crimes condemn you. Now face the lethal fire of the Penistare. And he does it to Galactus, and it's like he's putting the energy on him. Galactus is feeling absolutely nothing. And Ghost Rider is confused, and he's just like, no, like what's going on? How is this even possible? Ghost Rider tells Galactus not to turn his back on him. And then he said, I'm not finished with you. But Uatu says, I'm afraid you are Spirit of Vengeance. He was like, but the pen is there. And he's like, it has no effect because Galactus knows neither guilt nor remorse for all the sorrows of his action. He said he feeds because that is his nature, just as it is mine to be a watcher, to observe without interfering. Does a shark on your world no guilt for feeding, for simply following its nature? Then neither does. And he's like, well, I have heard from this before. The Punisher, Bullseye, Thanos, and I cannot accept it. How many worlds have died because of Galactus? Millions? Billions? Like, a price must be paid. If the Penistare is not sufficient, then there has to be someone else to take them out. Like, we will otherwise be locked in combat for thousands of years. Like, you believe you have a choice because you know what's, not the rest of it. Like, what is the rest then? Uatu then proceeds to break it down for Ghost Rider. He said, it is known that there have been many universes before the one that was created in what is called the Big Bang. Just as it is known that Galactus was once called Gilon of Ty, the lone survivor from a universe immediately preceding this one, saved from indestruction in the cosmic egg, then revived in this universe with a hunger that can only be appeased by consuming entire worlds. What is not known, because you have asked, is what happened to all those prior universes, and why, and what is its meaning? Get the meaning of what? And he says everything. I just have to pause and give it up to J. Michael Straczynski for this origin of Galactus and why he does what he does, because I haven't seen this before and it's just amazing. Uatu says, for every prior universe from the immortal came to an end because they contained the seed of their own destruction, birthed at the moment of their creation, and those who were chosen to survive that destruction. Each of them in a way became the Galactus of their universe. They became known as the Great Destroyers. Stars, planets, and galaxies fell before them, until in the end, after a trillion years, only the destroyer remained. Like, wait, what are you saying? Are you saying that all life from the very beginning to the very end is without meaning? He says, no. The universe after universe, creation after creation, we have gathered purpose that to feed the beast with only one devour us. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense that a plant field of wheat and not harvest it, to leave rot beneath the sun. All things die. The world ends. If they die in silence, then their death erases all they once were. There can be no greater meaning. But when a destroyer absorbs a planet, more than mere hunger is validated. The hunger is simply a means to an end, a way to compel the destroyer to do what they must, to gather and harvest and prepare the way for the birth of the next universe from the ashes of the old. I mean, this is amazing. So Owato is basically saying that Galactus gathers all the good of the universe or the planets he destroys to prepare for a new universe that's better than the one previous. That is incredible. The Watcher continues basically saying that not only does Galactus harvest the lives of those that are there, but also the art, the music, the stories, all things that give them purpose and beauty, and the will to fight until their last breath for the right to live, to breathe, to simply exist. Let it be said that when we are faced with great terror, we do not look away. We fight for the right to be. This determination in which to survive becomes the force powerful enough to bend creation toward a desire of a new life ahead of them. This happens until finally, when all has been consumed, leaving only the void, the destroyer reaches a critical mass. The dreams and the art, the music of a trillion hearts unite with him, ready to be birthed anew. They strive within the destroyer for release, tearing it asunder with their will to live, to once again begin the great journey. This energy hovers in the timeless void, waiting for a single spark to light the fire, a single thought. The purpose of the universe is to understand the purpose of the universe. And then the cycle of creation and destruction, life, death, art, beauty, music, memories, all comes to shape and is fulfilled to live once more. As a result, each new universe, each new cycle is stronger and better than the one previous, and we get closer to perfection. Come on, people, this is pure genius. So Ghost Rider then says, well, what's the end game? And Owato explains, like, someday, a number of universes from now, perfection will finally be achieved, honoring the memory of everything that's been before it, all the things that have happened. And then there will be all the struggles, all the loss, the dreams, the beauty, everything will have been worth it. It will be beautiful. You say, okay, so now that you know this, then what are you going to do? What's your reply? You still going to keep trying to stop Galactus from existing and kind of punish him for his crimes? Ghost Rider ponders this for a minute, and then he responds to Owato by saying, my reply consists of 5 words, and the first 3 words is, I don't care. Would you like to know what the other words are? Galactus doesn't get a free pass because of something that might happen a trillion years from now. He can be destroyed now. And then Owato's like, yes, and future universes may not be born as a result. And he's like, not my problem. And I don't care what happens in a trillion years. All I care is what happens right now, and I'm not done with him. And then Owato's like, yes, you are. And he's like, I said, like, what you said doesn't even matter. Now at this point, Ghost Rider is taken back to Earth, and I can't even tell if it was Owato who did it, or if it was Galactus, or a combination of both, just natural order. And he's brought back home, like, okay, and then he sees Ben Grimm, and he's like, hey man, come here, I want you to meet my girlfriend Elisa, why don't you join us for dinner? And he was like, sure, why not? Like, I've been through all this, I'm kind of just going to give in because there's really nothing else I can do. Let me enjoy the moments I have now. We now come to our conclusion where, you know, Ben asked Johnny to join them for dinner with Alicia, and Johnny's like, you know what, fine, you know, it is a beautiful place, it's a beautiful dinner. And Ben was like, exactly, as long as there's beauty in the world, there's a reason to keep going, you know, like even for a slob like me. And that's the point, like, you know, we think sometimes that we're making things right by trying to stop others, but what if it's really a purpose to all of this? So if you've enjoyed this issue as much as I have, make sure you give it a thumbs up on the video. If I made it make sense, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to know when new content drops just like this. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace. Host Joseph, Fiction Inc. Flow. I'm your host Joseph, Fiction Inc. Flow. I'm your host Joseph, Fiction Inc. Flow. If you don't have it, you are truly missing it. What's up? I'm your host Joseph, Fiction Inc. Flow. I'm your host Joseph, Fiction Inc. Flow. I'm your host Joseph, Fiction Inc. Flow. If you don't have it, you are truly missing it. What's up? We are talking about Fiction Inc. Flow. What's up? If you don't have it, you are truly missing it. Fiction Inc. Flow. What's up? We are talking about Fiction Inc. Flow. What's up?